You've been neglecting legs for too long, because if you want to achieve an S-tier anime level physique like Toji, Sungjin Woo, or Baki, you cannot skip leg day. Now, a lot of people think to achieve Baki level leg gains, they need to do squats until their thighs feel like raw hams. But in reality, you can achieve massive, strong, and functional legs from the comfort of your own stinky bedroom. Now, I'm no Tom Platz, but as someone with some sizable hams, you can believe me when I say you can build good legs without weights. So today, I'm going to show you guys how you can achieve anime level legs without any weights by giving you guys the best exercises to build big and strong legs, the correct techniques for each exercise, and how to properly train in order to get those juicy leg gains. So what does it take to build big anime level legs like Baki? And how can we do so without a squat rack or dumbbells? Well, let's take a look at Baki and see what makes his legs so big and strong. Baki is known to have some of the most powerful legs in the show, and probably the most powerful legs in most of anime, as demonstrated through his kicking strength. And the majority of that size and strength is going to come from his quads, which is responsible for creating that power, not only for Baki's kicks, but also for his mad hops too. But Baki does more than jump around and kick ugly people in the face. He's also incredibly fast and can reach top tier speeds. Now, your leg's overall development contributes to speed, but a majority of that speed comes from having strong hamstrings and strong calves. So if you not only want to be strong, but to be fast, you gotta hit these as well. But of course, we can't forget the most important muscle for the legs, which also happens to be the biggest, your thick cheeks. Not only are these the most important for baking that cake, but they also play a key role in all leg functions: strength, speed, power, kicking power, stability, all the works. Your ass does it all. Plus having a premium caboose adds to that anime level physique. Just look at this picture of assless Baki. It's sad, really. So if you're ready to build some strong glutes like this guy, and of course build the rest of your legs, let's get into it by starting with the quads and the glutes. First of all, when it comes to quad and glute development, nothing is going to beat the tried and true bodyweight squat. It's beginner friendly, easy enough to do, and builds good muscle. And it's also the foundation for every exercise coming up in this video. Even Baki did a bunch of squats to develop his legs until his legs caught on fire. Take a shoulder width stance and then initiate the squat by sticking the butt out. Lower down however deep you can tolerate, and then go back up without raising your hips too high above your knees. Think about at the top of the squat, there's a rope pulling your hips forward. So as you come up, you're squeezing your quads, you're squeezing your glutes, you're squeezing everything, and you're developing everything. If you can't do squats yet, whether due to bad knees, you can always do box squats, which is just doing squats while sitting on a chair at the bottom. And if you're one of those guys who says squats are boring, I kind of say that. Then try having some fun with some of these variations, like side to side squats, pause squats, Buddha squats, sumo squats, and many more variations of squats. Tons of ways to make squats more effective with just your body weight. But I do understand where people are coming from, why people say it's boring, it's not challenging enough. Because one of the most difficult things about bodyweight squats is that, well, you're only working with one load, which is your entire body. The amount of weight you can lift is limited to how much you weigh. Ergo, the amount of force you can produce is limited. So we need to force ourselves to use more leg strength in order to stimulate more growth, which is what the rest of the exercises aims to do. And one of the best exercises you can do to get stronger legs without any weight is explosive squats or jumping squats. By just jumping as hard as you can at the top of the squat, you're forcing your leg muscles to push far harder, even though you have no extra weight. Not only is this great for leg strength, but it's also great for developing that explosive power, just like Baki. But let's say you want to train more than power. You are chasing Baki's leg strength. So gents, let me introduce you to the holy grail of calisthenics leg training, the pistol squat. Oh, the pistol squat is so magical, it's amazing. Otherwise known as the one-legged squat. This is going to be your go-to for bodyweight leg training. You don't need a squat rack, you don't need weights. As long as you know how to pistol squat, you can truly say you are Jin. Just stand on one leg, sticking the other one out, lower down to the ground with your elbow aligned with your knee, and of course, always go ass to grass. Full range of motion, fellas. Then drive back up, pushing upward, and it's the same sort of movement with the squat at the top. Because of the unilateral training, these are going to be phenomenal for developing Baki's leg strength, but also developing that coordination as well as that balance. Plus, you can do these literally anywhere, so there's no excuse for you to skip leg day. But let's say you don't have the strength or balance for pistol squats. Well, you can still train up to it and get the same benefits of the pistol squat by doing single leg step-ups. By using a chair or a box, you can train one leg at a time without having to hold your balance. Form tip, try to have your supporting leg only touching the floor with your heel. That way you get rid of any chances of making momentum by pushing off with that leg. And if you want to make it easier, use a lower chair or a lower box or a shoe box. Whatever works for you. But Baki isn't just incredibly strong, he also has great flexibility and mobility, which is important for functional leg strength. I mean, just look at Baki. He can do splits on the wall. He's very flexible. He can kick very high. So one of my favorite exercises to work on that flexibility is the Cossack squat. There's actually 2 ways to do this, and it all depends on what you want to stretch. You can have your foot facing up, which stretches the hamstrings, or you can have your foot to the side, which stretches the inner thigh. Either one you pick, take a wide stance, then lower down to one side, making sure your knee is still aligned with your toes. And then here you're going to feel your hips open up, which is going to help you with that flexibility and mobility. If you find these far too difficult, you can always go ahead and bend the leg a little bit, or you can lower the range of motion if you want to. Now, these are probably my favorite exercises for overall leg development, but if you really want to feel it in your legs, the Bulgarian split squat is going to make you feel that burn. Using anything like a couch or a bed, prop up your supporting leg on it. Your leg should still be about shoulder width. Then lower down until your supporting knee hovers a little bit above the floor. Bring yourself back up, and boom, you've got one of the most effective leg exercises that anybody ever does for their legs. Because of the leg position, you do get a lot of stretch on the quads and the glutes, and you shift a lot of the weight onto the working leg. Plus, since they're not as balance demanding as pistol squats, you can do these for super high reps, which I highly recommend. But also, they're very painful, so watch out. And if you're feeling brave, you could do a little hop. Helps with the explosiveness, helps with more strength gains. It's all good. Add a little hop. But it's useless to just train legs for strength and size, because if you got big, strong legs, but you have terrible knees, then guys, this might be you. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you get the point. So we need an exercise that's perfect for strengthening the knees, which is why everyone should do switching lunges. These combine all of the best exercises into one. Explosiveness, unilateral training, coordination, joint health, you name it, this exercise has it. First jump up and then land with one foot in front and one foot behind in the lunge position. And try to keep your legs shoulder width apart. Then jump high enough to switch those legs again, and boom, you got switching lunges. Let's go. This high impact movement plus the lunge motion is going to be really good for conditioning the knees, keeping your legs nice and healthy. But they're also really good for developing those Baki sized quads. And of course, if you find these too difficult, regular lunges are going to work just fine. But if you want to achieve that Baki level agility, then you're really going to want to start targeting other muscles as well. So let's move on to the calves and the hamstrings. Not only is Baki super agile, but he also possesses really good balance and very good body awareness. And one of my favorite hamstring exercises that does both is the single leg RDL. Here we are balancing on one leg with the other leg to the side, then hinging up at the hip with your arms forward, making sure to squeeze that butt at the top. It's a simple exercise, but it's not only a good way to get good hamstrings, but it's also great for developing that balance and coordination. But if you want to skip the balancing altogether, because who gives a damn about that, and you just want powerful hamstrings, Nordic curls are going to be your best friend. Place your feet under something heavy, then lower down from your knees. Ideally, you're going to want to bring yourself back up, but I'm not strong enough to do that yet, so I just do Nordic curl negatives. But even still, these are an incredibly good exercise to work the hamstrings, because a lot of the growth is going to come from controlling the negative. But if you find these too hard, the next best thing is to do hip hinges. These are similar to Nordics, but instead you hinge at the hip as per the name. You should feel a lot of tension in your hamstrings to keep you upright. And if you find these too difficult, you can always not extend your knees as much, keeping your weight closer to your center of mass. But if you're looking for a dynamic way to train your hamstrings, then you should do the slick hamstring curl. Using socks or anything slidey, slide your feet away from your body and then curl it back towards your body. Make sure to really squeeze your glutes and try not to let your butt touch the floor. And soon, if you do these enough, you'll be moving as fast as Baki, kicking Muhammad Ali Jr. in the face. But you're not going to get Baki's agility just training the hamstrings. You're going to need to put effort in those calves as well. So of course, you have to do your calf raises. And there's actually a few ways you could do them. First is the basic calf raise, which are effective on their own. But if you're looking for more of a challenge, the single leg calf raise is your next best bet. I recommend doing these on an elevated surface just to get more stretch at the bottom. Next up, which is really nice, squat calf raises. These are actually going to target your inner calves, making them wider and giving them more shape. And all of these exercises are great because they target the muscle directly, isolating it, allow you to pick and choose which muscles you want to work on. But you probably want to do more than just isolate your hamstrings and calves. You'll also want to isolate your quads and glutes as well. And one of the best exercises that will achieve that isolation is reverse Nordic curls. These are great for developing those quads and conditioning those knees. Kneel on something soft like a pad or carpet, then slowly lower down down, going as far as you can, feeling a nice stretch, and then spring back up, not going back up all the way because you want to keep that time under tension on your quads. And if you find it too difficult, you can always lower the range of motion. Nobody's watching. But if you truly want to get Baki level legs, you cannot be skipping the glutes. Remember what we talked about the big caboose. So the next exercise you want to do is glute bridges. It's perfect for isolating the glutes. It's easy enough for anybody to do, but if you want to take it up a notch, doing the single leg variation is a good upgrade. Just make sure you're using full range of motion and squeezing those cheeks together as you come up. But no matter what exercises you do or how you do them, you're never going to properly grow your legs at home without these tips. First and foremost, since you're only using your body weight, you're going to want to be doing a lot of high rep training. Now you could do harder exercises to progressively overload, but when all you have is your body weight, one of the only things that you're going to be able to control is the amount of reps you do. So by working in the 20 to 30 rep range, especially for those smaller muscles like calves and glutes, this is going to be crucial. And even for compound movements, training higher reps trains both the slow twitch and the fast twitch muscle fibers, increasing your strength. But you don't have to increase the reps forever. You can always modify the time under tension. Doing things like pause reps, slow reps, or even isometric holds can be beneficial to your leg training. But the truth is, even if you do all of these exercises, you do all of them correctly with perfect form, you're using time under tension, you're doing super good reps, you're never going to truly achieve anime level legs without adding some weight eventually. I know this is supposed to be a legs, no weights video, but I'm not going to pretend that bodyweight leg training is going to achieve the same results as somebody who does weightlifting for their legs. Now, I didn't deceive you. You can build good legs with just bodyweight training, but one of the problems is that it gets to be very limiting because your legs can produce a lot of force, but you're only working with your body weight, which is why I always recommend for everybody when they're training legs to add some form of weight as they start to get more advanced. This is what I do. This is what most people do. But for those who can only work out at home, there is a silver lining. You guys just need to remember, you are gym. Anything can be a weight. Books in a backpack, a rice bag, pieces of furniture, a person if you really wanted to. But even if you didn't have any weights around, you had nothing to use, then there's one more tip I can give you. Don't stress over leg training too much. Don't worry about it. Look, unless you really want to have gunshot kicks or the legs of the quad father, you really don't have to stress about it too much. Calisthenics leg training is all about having healthy, functional legs that are capable of balance, strength, and performance. And even with just body weight, again, you can develop really nice legs. Plus, you guys are calisthenics athletes. You're too busy working on advanced variations, strength moves, cool stuff you see on the internet, and mastering your body weight. And while having good legs is important, it's not going to be the main focus. Plus, some of the elites don't even train legs. Not that you should be skipping legs. You should train legs. So keep doing bodyweight leg training, and if you're not getting the results you want, change up your training. Don't be dogmatic, be adaptive. And pretty soon you'll be upgrading from skinny chicken legs to Baki level legs in no time. But if you want to be more than a pair of Baki legs, you want his arms, his shoulders, his chest, his demon back, then you need to know the most effective way to train your entire body at home. So if that's something that interests you, then check out the link in the description to learn more.